Hi, it's me, Daphne, and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about the delusional moment I'm in when it comes to this November TBR. So with the end of the year coming, I think I've lost it a little bit. This month is the most delusional, aspirational, who am I kidding TBR I've probably put together in the entire year. But I think I've added a bit of pressure on myself because, like, where did the year go? There are still so many books that I wanted to read this year and didn't make time for, and now I'm like trying to catch up, and I'm like, where are the new releases? I need to read them, and like the video projects I want to do. I am just losing it. Okay, I'm spiraling a little bit. So this TBR has gotten out of hand, and then also, I just want to mood read. I made some birthday purchases in October that I want to kind of read in November, and I'm just excited. Okay, so that's that. I'm also in the middle of a lot of books, so that's enough rambling. The first book I want to talk to you about is my IRL book club's pick for the month, and that is Interview with the Vampire, a novel by Anne Rice. This is a pretty well-known vampire book. I know there's like a movie about it and maybe even like a show spinoff too. I was reading it a little bit today. I am really liking the writing style, so I'm intrigued to see how this goes. And I need to finish this probably in the next 2 weeks for our book club meeting. We're gonna hang out at our friend Trev's place, and then we're gonna watch the movie. So I definitely have to finish this on time. So very excited about that. It starts out with this boy who I think is just like a man, like a human guy who's probably on the younger side, interviewing this vampire, and like he interviews a bunch of people. So I don't know how like normal paranormal creatures are in this world, and I also don't know what year it is. I know the vampire is from like the 1790s, and he's from Louisiana, and he had a plantation, and he had slaves, so like, not a good start for his character. But okay, it's like of the time, but like still. And it's like him telling his life story and like how he became a vampire, and he's not just gonna like give the short, easy, simple answer. He's like, I wanna tell the whole story. So yeah, intrigued by this and enjoying it so far. Then this book, I'm still reading it. I have the audiobook. I've made progress though. I've made progress. I'm 130 pages in and I'm liking it, okay? Listening to the audiobook also helps when I'm busy doing stuff, but I just need to like sit down and finish this because I'm just dragging my feet. I think because it's like a feminist kind of fiction and there's no romance in it, so I don't really know, and it's very slice of life, so I don't really know where the story's going, and that doesn't like urge me to pick it up. This is an Indian fantasy vibes story. Our main character has these powers where she can see the connection she has with other people and kind of influence them in certain ways, which is very interesting and cool. She's a princess. She just got married off to this king, and she's a very skilled fighter and like a charioteer and things like that. So she's not your average princess in that way. Enjoying it overall. Really like the writing style. Really like the character. I just need to like buckle down and get it done. Let me then tell you about the other books that I'm in the middle of, right? So in the middle of those two, kind of, and then I'm also in the middle of Whispers of the Deep, which is a monster romance with this human woman who lives in this like undersea society. Like for some reason humans have left the surface and now live under the ocean because I guess it's like inhospitable above ground. Like there's like storms and like volcanoes erupting and like hurricanes, like all these crazy things. So she lives in this like bubble city, and there's this mermaid community that hate the humans because they feel like they're destroying the ocean, and it's her romance with one of these like warrior merman guys. And he doesn't look like a human. Like he's like humanoid in shape for the most part, but he's very fishy also. I mean, you're seeing the picture, I'm sure, which I should probably scooch over to make sure I have room to put the pictures in. I'm about 68% of the way through that. Honestly, I was hoping it would be a little bit faster pace, but we're kind of meandering about in the story. Like, he's just taking her from like cave to cave and like trying to keep her hidden. And I don't know, the plot is kind of weak. And the romance is really slow, but not in like a fun, slow burn way. So I just kind of want it to be over already. I'm like, what is the point of fucking anything in this story right now? And it's frustrating too because the author in the beginning, she's like, oh, like you have to suspend your disbelief to, you know, just enjoy the story. Like I'm not a scientist. I don't know about like ocean pressure and like yada, yada, yada. And obviously like the way that the human woman breathes underwater, she doesn't have like an air tank. She just has this like face contraption that is able to breathe like a fish, you know? So like, sure, I can overlook that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, there are so many things I have to overlook to make this story work. And I bring that up because also in the beginning she said, just overlook that stuff, it's not that important. This is just like a monster effer book, you know what I mean? Like this is for like that fantasy. And I'm like, where is that part? They haven't had any moments, like steamy moments at all. And I'm like almost 70% of the way through. I'm like, where are the steamy moments? I was here for that with the merman. Like when is it gonna happen? They're just fucking swimming around. Like, can you do something else besides swim around? I'm so bored. Just do something hot. Shit, that's why I'm here. So I'll finish that probably. And then another book I'm in the middle of is The Bully by Penelope Douglas. This one I put down a while ago. It's been a couple weeks. I was just struggling because the characters were only like 17 and they're just about to turn 18, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. It was just kind of giving me the ick a little bit. Like, if the characters are barely legal, I get it. But like, you have to be at least barely legal. So, I don't know. Not loving that either. And the logic of like why the guy was bullying her in the first place, I'm not super clear on. I kind of want to like go back a little bit and like reread some sections because he tried to explain some stuff and I just don't get it. And also I just don't like how our main heroine is just like, he's the worst person ever to me, but like look at his beautiful brown eyes, like he's just so hot. And I'm like, girl, come on, have some self-respect. And sometimes that's okay in like smutty books. Like, I don't mind that in everything. But with her in particular, I'm like, girl, you were pushing back. You were like standing up for yourself. But then like you have these like moments where I'm like, dude, why? He's awful. I don't know if I'll finish that in November, but I'm in the middle of it. So maybe I'll try to push through. But with all the other delusion that's going on, maybe I deprioritize that on the list. And then here we go with other priorities. So I'm barely started in this. I've read like 6 pages. I should have done more Harry Potter reading. I've taken a bit of hiatus for like the last month and a half, 2 months of reading the series. And I really need to dive back in and finish it because I've been doing that video project I've mentioned 1,000 times. And you know, the year is ending, so not sure if that will be wrapped up before 2025, but I can try. So I want to read book 6, which is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I want to read this and the 7th one too in November, if possible. A bit delusional. So the 7th one is called Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. These are big books. This next one, I'm like, I hate myself. Okay. A Touch of Darkness. I've talked about this 1,000 times. I was supposed to buddy read it with my IRL friends Monica and Maddie, and then I was supposed to buddy read it with Sam and Eliza. Eliza finished it. I assume Sam finished it because she reads super fast. And I'm over here on page 4. I have this to read. It's a Persephone Hades retelling. I've probably told you about this 1,000 times. It's like kind of contemporary. Hades owns like a gambling empire. Hopefully it's fun and steamy. That's it. Okay, just Daphne, read your books. Read your books. Another priority that I really want to read before the end of 2024 is The Devil and the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. Okay, this author wrote one of my all-time favorite books, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which was like this Groundhog's Day murder mystery book. Highly recommend that book. Absolutely amazing, so fun. And I just want to see what he does with this one. I picked this up in like 2022 and I still haven't read it, probably because it's like a 5-star prediction and I'm nervous that it's not gonna live up to all my hopes and dreams. But I'm calling BS on myself this month and I really want to read it and I hope to God that I get to it. Okay, I already told you so many books. This one is pretty much just about this detective guy who I think has been arrested for some reason. I don't really know why. He's supposed to be executed and he's on this boat like traveling to Amsterdam apparently. Strange things start happening on the boat, like a strange symbol appears on the sail and the other passengers are like hearing terrible voices and whispers in the dark, promising unholy miracles. I don't know, things are happening. Also, this copy is very cool. It says, a murder on the high seas, a detective duo, a demon who may or may not exist. Oh, just please, Daphne, get to this and love it. Oh my God, please. Okay. But then again, this is like a more like not typical read for me where it usually will take me more time versus like a romance book that I tend to fly through. So I need some romances mixed in, right? So that's where the following books come in. The next thing I'll tell you about is probably the most unhinged, unnecessary thing that I want to spend my time on in November, which is reading all of these mangas. I just bought 2 new mangas for my birthday. I bought this one, Wolf Girl and Black Prince Volume 2, and Sweat and Soap Volume 4. They're really fast to get through, so I might as well just like reread the other ones. Definitely don't need to do this with all the other things that I need to get done, but it's something I really want to do anyway. So Sweat and Soap is an adult, steamier romance. Like, it's not super explicit, but they're adults and they have like romantic moments together that are mature. And it's really fun and super cute. So they work at this like bath products kind of company. He works in the creative department with the scents and stuff, and she works in like the finance department. She uses a lot of their products because she's a sweaty girl, and he smells her one day just like walking by her and is like, oh my God, you smell delicious. You are my new muse. And it's their romance together, and it's them figuring out like how to be a couple when she's very shy and he's more outgoing and popular and all that stuff. So very sweet, and yeah, I just really enjoy this story, and it's just nice to read like mangas with adult characters. And then this series is definitely more like typical shoujo vibes. We have this young girl who's on the back. They're in high school. For whatever reason, I think she just like wants to be popular, and she's like hanging out with these girls that are not really the right kind of peeps, and she lies and points at this random guy on the street and says that it's her boyfriend, or like she takes a picture of him and then goes to school and like tells her friends that he's her boyfriend, not realizing he goes to their school. So she begs him to like go along with the lie, and he agrees, but now she has to be like his little pet. So she has to do whatever he says. So I'm excited to continue this. I really hope this manga series is completed because I will happily collect all the volumes. Now I only have 3 more books that my delusional brain thinks I can read, and this is already a lot of things. So let me quickly go through these. So let me first talk about this one. I have Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This I think came out last year. Yeah. And it was really, really well loved. A lot of the romance girlies that I love to follow liked this. I'm pretty sure like Jess really liked it and Tori really liked it. A bunch of people. So I am excited about it. I think it was just another case of like, oh, I really think I'm gonna like this, so I didn't pick it up. This is a second chance romance, I believe. It's a wedding planner and her grumpy ex working together on a celebrity event. He is like a florist, I believe, and he's got like these beautiful floral tattoos. It just gives me angsty vibes. Hopefully it is. His name's Elliot Bloom, and it says he's a brooding florist who hates owning a flower shop until a certain bright-eyed, donut-loving workaholic shows up at his door. So yeah, interested to see how this book goes, and I really hope I have a fun time with it. I just need something to consume. I just want to be able to read a romance in like 2-3 days and just be obsessed with it, and I can't put it down, you know? So hopefully this delivers that kind of energy for me. So some more fun romances in between. I have 2 other books that I got for my birthday that I'm currently excited about, and I'm trying to go with that energy, you know? I have Fang Fiction, which my bookish bestie Sam gifted me, which I showed in my last video with my birthday book haul. What is my leg doing? Let me put my legs down. And this is by an author that I really enjoyed her other book, which was One to Watch, and it's about a woman who discovers that, I guess, the main character in the fiction book she really loves is real, and that vampires are real, and she has to help him do something. I don't know. I think it'll be a fun time. I was looking at the author's note earlier, and it says, you know, some trigger warnings about this being a story of a sexual assault survivor healing from her trauma. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be deep as well, and hopefully well addressed, and a very feminist story in her healing journey, and also fun and steamy and romantic, hopefully. And then the last book I'm gonna talk about is another book I purchased with a gift card, which is called Pardon My Frenchie, which I talked about in my last video as well. This cover is just precious, and I'm just interested in it right now. I feel like I've seen this author before. This author wrote that Boyfriend Project series, so it's like the Boyfriend Project, the Dating Playbook, the Hookup Plan. Familiar. So if I do enjoy this book, I'll have other books of hers that I could go to. So this is about a doggy daycare owner, that is our female main character, and a man who has taken ownership of his grandmother's dog, and it's their romance, and I love dogs. So I just think it's gonna be so fun and cute. I don't really know like what I expect from the steam factor of this, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So we'll see if I get to this. If I don't get to it in November, that's okay. Just putting it on the list for now because I'm excited about it. But with all the other things that I've put on the list, we'll see if I can do it all. All right, so this is my Tower of Delusion, plus some ebooks that aren't represented here. Please cheer me on. I could use all the motivation. I definitely need to put a timeout on TikTok and my PlayStation in order to make this month as successful as I dream and pray and hope it will be. If you had fun hanging out with me, please feel free to leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, and obviously it helps out my channel. And I will catch you in another video. Bye!